Welcome to another episode of Fade Next Rated. Got me, Day, and Kip here today. Back with that hot goss in the entertainment and sports world. We're gonna get it started right away with. We got some updates regarding the Kendrick Lamar and Drake debacle. Their beef that's been going on for a little over a month and a half now. Kip, you want to start us off on this whole debate?
Yeah, getting right into it. Like you said, I think a good way to go ahead and now change the name and happy Cinco de Mayo by the way, because coming to
Happy
y'all live
Cinco
from
de
Cinco de Mayo.
Drinko.
Hopefully y'all out somewhere getting some drinks in, drink responsibly, of course. Um,
Definitely.
but but yeah, getting back to it, there's a lot going on, and I think that we should now name the segment "Who's Keeping Score" or what's the score. Since we last were here, I believe at that point we only had about three songs out. There has been an explosion of music that has been put out between these two artists over the last week, and that's crazy to say. Um, at this point, what the count is looking like it's five songs that Kendrick has released, and three total full length songs by Drake over this time frame. Definitely hits, and there are probably some misses depending on what camp you are a part of and what camp you're rooting for. But yeah, I love the energy that's coming out of it. I think that we definitely have a lot to get into. So before we go ahead and even get into it, I do want to make sure that, though, at least for the beginning part, we're not going to go ahead and get into too much about the lyrics and dissecting the songs. I think that we can get that from anywhere. And we can probably touch on that a little bit later on at the end of this, once we get a little bit further into this topic. But yeah, so right now, I just had a few questions I want to pose to you because right now, do you mind going over the list of songs? That way we can have just at least a
Yes,
background of
sir.
what we have.
From the last week or so, or all the songs in total.
Let's go over songs and all the songs total.
All right, so all right, boom. I got the list here on my phone to kind of uh, try
And
and
behind
include.
your back. And behind your back.
Yeah, I do got, but I didn't want to turn around. So we got Kendrick with the like that with Future and Metro. That started everything off on March 22nd.
Hmm.
Going to disregard J. Cole because he's not in this fight anymore. We got
Hmm.
Push Ups by Drake on April 19th. Then we got Taylor Made Freestyle on that same day. Then Kendrick came back on 4:30 with Euphoria, followed up with 616 in LA on 5-3, in which Drake responded on that same day with Family Matters and that parody on IG. I believe that's the song on the Buried Alive beat.
Correct.
Then following up to that on the same day, so this is three songs in one day. Actually,
15 minutes
four.
later, I think it was 15 minutes
Actually,
later after
four
the fact.
songs if we include the parody. We have Kendrick with "Meet the Grams," and then yesterday, May 4th, May the Fourth be with you. He dropped "Not Like Us."
Gotcha. Perfect. So yeah, we like we said, we had a lot of music that came out, and a lot of it came out in it seemed like within a pretty short span as far as like the last few days. Once
Yeah.
again, love the energy. I think like we mentioned earlier on, we're definitely calling for Kendrick to go ahead and put out some music, and he was on the time clock, and I think he's definitely delivered. At every turn, he's been responsive, and he's been putting out some heat. Let's put it that way. Let's put some
Mm-hmm.
heat out there. So let's just get into it right now. So at this point right now, because it's hard to go ahead and base a score because the fact is Kendrick has released five songs and Drake has released, I guess, for lack of better words, three songs. Because the fact is we can't really count that 1 minute snippet that we had. Um, if we were to go ahead and try to take, I guess, the three songs or the three top songs. Let's go through that first. What do you think that Kendrick's three top songs out of his five that have been released so far?
The three top songs to me would be it's definitely Euphoria.
Hmm.
Let's see. I'm going to go with Not Like Us
Okay.
and 616 in LA.
Okay. So we're pretty much on the same path. I
Yeah.
think that I'm in agreement with those are the three best songs. Some people might argue Meet the Grams should be in there,
Mm.
but I think that those three are solid. So with those three,
Yep.
we have of course Drake's three songs, which are Push Ups, Tailor Made Freestyle, Family Matters. Just going through the list. who do you think? What's the score right now? So if we're gonna go with it, like from what I can see here, it would be let's go ahead and put Tailor Made versus Push Ups because they came within the same time frame. I would say. Then we
Mhm.
have 616 LA with Tailor Made Freestyle, and then we have Not Like Us with Family Matters. What would you rate the score? So out of three, who's in the lead and who's behind right now?
So just to make sure I heard that right, you said Euphoria would be against
Push Ups.
push-ups.
All right, what you got? Yeah, which one? Which who wins?
Euphoria beats push-ups.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's one for
Um,
Kendrick for you. All right,
the
so
ne-
then we have 616 versus Tailor Made Freestyle.
I'm gonna go 616. I honestly think Taylor Made was a baiting technique used by Drake to get Kendrick out.
Mm-hmm.
I think using the Tupac AI,
Yeah,
force
yeah,
Kendrick's hand, right? Because we all know Tupac is like a huge influence on Kendrick. He had like a fucking interview with him on Mortal Man on To Pimp a Butterfly,
mm-hmm.
and throughout most of these diss songs, he's made some reference to Tupac. I know he made it in Euphoria in regards to the rings. He made it in is it Not Like Us in regards to You Wouldn't Survive in Oakland, something like that.
Yeah, the Bay
So
Area.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I would give it to 616 LA just because of that fact. I don't think it was a serious song by Drake.
Okay.
It was another a parody, I would say, or like damn, what's the word? Not parody, but what the fuck is social media shit? Damn.
Meme.
Not meme, but like trolling. There we go. He was
Trolling. There you go. Okay.
trolling him
Trolling.
with that
Gotcha. Okay.
song. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. I can feel that. Pause. But and then
Hmm.
we got Not Like Us versus Family Matters. Which one would you go with that in that realm?
I like Family Matters.
Okay. Well, just to clarify, we're not beholden to these scores. No, there's not by you
Yeah,
ranking those like that. We're not saying that. Of course, you're saying that Kendrick is winning or uh,
right.
Drake is winning. We just wanted to see what he had.
Yeah.
So
To
okay,
be
I got
honest, in
you.
my opinion, the best song out of every song so far is Euphoria. So that's just me. I'm a
Okay.
fan of both. Yeah, we'll continue. Let's
Yeah,
continue.
we're gonna get back to that. Don't worry about that. We're gonna
Yeah.
definitely get back to that. So yeah. So yeah, for me, I think I'm gonna go probably like you said. I probably will go. I think, damn, that's pretty crazy. I'm pretty much lined up with you in that realm. Is that I would probably go Euphoria over Push Ups, Tailor Made over 616. Ooh, I might have to revisit Tailor Made again. But for tentative reasons, I will go ahead and 616 in LA, and definitely I'm gonna go Family Matters over Not Like Us. So going through that same situation, well, you already answered, I guess, first part of this question. Which one do you think is Kendrick's best song out of the list? You said Euphoria. You said it's the
Euphoria,
best song.
yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
and I guess out of Drake's, I
Is
guess
it the
three and a
bridge?
half, three and a half. We have. What would you rank the number one Drake song thus far?
Number one Drake would be Family Matters.
Okay, same. Gotcha.
Mhm.
All right, cool. So yeah, going with that a little bit. What was a bar that, like, I guess, what would you say would be the top bar or bars that you heard from each individual rapper in this beef? Like, what song was like really got you like, ooh, that one probably gonna hurt a little bit,
It
or
was
it's good, it's
like
clever.
it was after like I like read into it, and again, I think this would maybe something that we bring up later, but like I know Kendrick is a super creative and a very intentional artist, but at some point, I think like the community themselves is even more creative on how like they make linkages to some of these lyrics.
Hmm.
Granted, I'm not taking away anything from Kendrick. Again, he could have, with full intent, had these same type of meanings behind that. Some of the people that just, that are like a fan of music came up with and like, oh, this is the connection. But it was, uh, it was on Euphoria, right? So there was a few on there, right? So
Hmm.
one that had me going. I'm just trying to find it. Give me 1 second.
Take your time.
It was regarding the where the fuck is it? It was regarding him getting the ab surgery. So fuck is it at? Give me 1 second.
Take your time. While you're
And
looking for that.
let me let X in here because I just seen he join. Whole ass Chicago boy all late.
Hmm. But why you doing that?
Yeah.
No, yeah. So as far as you said Euphoria, of course, was the song that you liked the most out of that.
Hmm.
No, I definitely, like you said, touch base on that. It's just that Euphoria was really, I think, it was a really well constructed song. I think top to bottom. Um, I have also other comments about it, but we're going to definitely dive into that a little later because once again,
Hmm.
I kind of did a little breakdown of what we're going to be talking about in that realm.
Hmm.
But I think that there were definitely some witty bars in there.
Hmm.
Um, Once again, we're
I
gonna.
found the line too. Sorry to cut
All
you off.
right, perfect. No,
I
no,
found the
no,
line.
perfect. Go ahead, jump right into
So
it.
the line is, yeah, my first one, like my last one's a classic. You don't have one. Let your core audience stomach that. Then tell them where you get your abs from. V12, it's a fast one. Bow, bow, bow. Last one. So
Okay,
like
yeah, that was a
V12,
good one.
you know V12 is just like a
It's an engine
is an
car
engine,
engine.
but V12 is also like a reference to what is it, a cryolipolys slimming machine that like helps burn like or freeze the
Oh,
fat off of you. So
got
that
you.
I was like, ugh.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
All
again,
right.
I'm assuming Kendrick knew this, and it's
Yeah,
just not the people
connecting
adding
that.
these connecting it themselves. So that would probably be the one. But it was a lot from that song by
Got
itself.
you. Okay. And what about what would you say was one of them for Drake that you like? Oh, okay, that was a good one.
Um, yeah, give me 1 second. Come back to me on that one. Come back to me.
Okay. Um. All right. So with that being said, for me, that I think Not Like Us once again was the one I really fucked with that had some really good bars. And
Mhm.
we're gonna talk about why I'm saying this a little bit later. I'll say within the next few moments we're gonna talk about that. But I think for me, like a bar that really was like, ah, damn, like that was a good one. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to pull up that lyric as well because I already know my Drake lyric. Which one I already was like, yeah, I got you on that one. That was a good one. But hmm, 1 second. Give me a
The
few
Big D
moments
line
here.
was funny, but it wasn't his best line. That shit.
Who talking about Drake?
Yeah, fuck the
Yeah.
big three is
Oh,
only
that was
Big
a
D in this
that was
video proof that it was a
that was a
bar and
that was
funny,
fire.
but
That was fire. Regardless of what you may think, that was a fire bar. That was a good. That was a good. It was a well placed bar. Like that's a well constructed bar to be put into the middle of a song. Like that definitely. Ooh, yeah, that was a.
Drake said a lot of funny shit, right? And a lot of shit that other artists kind of think. Like when he said Kendrick just opened his mouth, someone will go hand him a Grammy right now. I think he was like, because I don't think Drake has as many Grammys or like a Grammy for album
No.
of the year, in which Drake has qualified albums where he should have won the Grammy of the year for.
Oh no, he won a album of the year for Take Care. But
Did he? Okay,
I don't think he's won a Grammy since then though.
okay,
I
but
may
yeah,
be
it,
wrong.
it just feels like Kendrick, like at least since he got robbed for Good Kid, Mad City, which he rightfully deserved. Macklemore should have never won that. I think
Hmm.
ever since then, the Grammy has just anytime Kendrick's put an album out, he's won album of the year, just kind of to get that. Because
Default.
yeah, because
We're
Mr.
going.
Morales, I don't think should have won album of the year,
Oh, that
or
one album of the year.
I think it was
No,
it
I
him
don't think
or was it
I don't think qualified yet.
no, he won something for it. I know he won video of the year with the Heart Part 5, which
Yeah,
is like,
yeah.
all right. Let me go check. I'll fact check you. But yeah, I thought that was another clever bar also. But I'll get back to my line with Drake on my favorite.
But yeah, I agree with you. Like you said, that's a good one as well. Like you said, open his mouth so he get a Grammy, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit later as well. Because trust me, there's a lot to unpack, not just about this rap beef in general, but just I guess as the culture and as well as the artistry for these two individuals as well. Um, I think that one of the bars that I was really like, okay, I fuck with like that Kendrick put out. It was simple as fuck too. It was just like, I got you. I see where you're going with that. He mentioned when he was talking about Drake having to go to Atlanta to go ahead and get his criteria up, essentially talking about you call Future when you didn't see the club. Uh, Basically talking about you need Future to go ahead and get your club music up because that's a big thing. Uh, when he said little baby helped you get your lingo up. I can see that. And 21 gave you full street cred. So I like that because the fact is it does kind of poke at what everybody says about Drake when we're talking about him being a chameleon and fitting into different type of niches.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the reason why I like the bar. It wasn't once again, it wasn't nothing too highbrow, too nothing too witty. It was just the directness and approach of that. Did you find your Drake verse bar yet, or did you have not? I just want to clarify.
No, I was looking at if Kendrick won album of the year for Mr. Morale, or not
Yeah.
album of the year, but hip hop album of the year.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, I'll go over my bar for Drake
yeah,
that
go
I
ahead.
was like, all right, that let me go ahead and because I want to make sure that I quote this bar like as is. And once again, this isn't nothing that's like, oh, this is crazy, like, but
Mm-hmm.
it was like, yeah, when he said, like you said, following that law is about the big three. It's only Big D in his video
Mm-hmm.
proof. Following that bar when he said, "Our son should go play in the park. Two light skinned kids that shit would be cute unless you don't want to be seen with anyone that's blacker than you. We get it.
Mm-hmm.
We got it. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, and so on and so forth." The reason why I like
Yeah,
that bar because the fact is that
think that your bishop
we
and juice.
is a there has been a gap in conversation about I guess Kendrick for in my opinion. What I mean by that is that and once again, we've talked about this on this podcast where we've said, no, love who you love and be with who you want to be with, whether it be somebody of a different race, same sex, different sex. We don't really care about that. It's not really a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we as a community, as a black community, we do frown upon those who don't stay within, I guess, the culture
Mm-hmm.
and don't date or
Ooh,
marry or you find yours?
I found my. It was the reference to the Michael Jackson situation. It
All right,
was
hold
the
on to that. Hold
yeah.
on to that.
Okay.
Hold on. But yeah, the reason why I bring that up is that although Kendrick's, I guess, fiance or baby mother, I'm gonna go ahead and put the respect on it. I believe it's his fiance. Although
Yes.
she is partially black, she is she looks like a mixed individual, and people would potentially look at that like, bro, you're saying like it goes to the old adage of people saying you can't be pro black if you're not married to a black woman. And I bring it up because the fact is that if you saw Kendrick's wife or fiance on the street, I don't think that many people would associate her with being black. We would think that she's probably mixed.
Mm-hmm.
So people have it. It's funny that people haven't brought up the fact
I thought
is
she was
that
Ethiopian, to be
yeah, I
honest.
thought she was something else, but it's funny that nobody has brought that up. That somebody who's consistently releasing pro black music isn't necessarily attached to somebody who looks traditionally black, if that makes sense. So that's why I like the bar because it was just like, okay, albeit Kendrick's son is not light skinned. It's still a play on the fact is that you're pro black, but yet your queen does not look like a black woman. She doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
4C hair type shit. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, that's a good bar. I really fucked with it because it was just like, yeah, that's a good dig. But go ahead. You had your Michael Jackson verse or
Yes.
bar.
The bar is oh shit, it's all making sense. Maybe I'm Prince and you actually Mike. Michael was praying his features would change so people believe that he's actually white. Top will make you do features for change, get on pop
Mm,
records and rap for the whites. And wait, you say your brother Jermaine, but you wanted him to stay out of the light. I was like, oh.
yeah, yeah,
I was like, ugh.
that last section of Family Matters was
Mm-hmm.
fire,
Mm-hmm.
was peak, and I definitely that's why I said that's probably the best. That was definitely his best track, and that's why that song beats out Not Like Us. Because yeah, that last part, that last I don't know if you would call it a verse or subsection of the song, that
Mm-hmm.
was heat. That was heat. And then you can also throw in the ASAP Rocky shit. That shit was good too. But
ASAP been getting some
oh yeah, he
and
catch a
killed.
he catch ASAP catch a shotgun pellets to the fucking face. But I think we should go before we go. We're gonna step away from this for a second, and we're gonna talk about a little bit something that I thought about. Um, so fans, I think that we need to go ahead and have a discussion about fans of this rap beef.
Mm-hmm.
You did touch on it in brief where we talked about, or you touched on the fact that fans, of course, if you want to look at it as rap genius annotations or whatever the case you want to do, people are making connections, especially in Kendrick's side,
Mm-hmm.
about meanings of things that may necessarily not be a intended thing. Now, it could
Yeah.
be just happy coincidence. Like you said, I do think Kendrick is very intentional with what he releases, but I think
Mm-hmm.
that people are really convoluting things and making things more connected than what they were intended to be. Once again, I feel like a lot of it could be considered happy coincidences that those things uh, are connected. Like for example, where the 616 in LA, we're talking about that's Pac's date of birth. Also,
Mm-hmm.
that's excuse me, pardon me. That's also, I believe,
Father's Day this year.
the start of OJ's trial and stuff like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
granted, I think that some of it was there, but there were also other things that people were making connections. It was like, bro, okay, we're doing a little bit, we're doing a bit too much of a deep dive,
Yeah.
like a little bit too much. So I bring up the fans, but the fact is, I do think that we need to also address that fans, I feel like, aren't necessarily being true to the beef, and also they may be selling the beef a little bit. They are making it a little bit more, I guess, more layered than it needs to be.
Yeah.
But what do you have any thoughts or opinions on that, like about the fans and how they're approaching this?
I think you're totally correct. Like I mentioned earlier, again, I think most of these connections that are being made, again, not taking any knock from Kendrick because I've known, I don't know the nigga. Let me not say I know Kendrick. I don't know the nigga at all.
No, his music, you
I've
say.
known his music since 2010 when he before Section 8, before he became hot. So I know like he's always been that type of rapper that makes you think and makes you actually go look in the lyrics to make those connections. But again, some of the shits that they try to connect, I'm like, all right, this may be a stretch. Also, one of the things that I kind of like figured because like there were, you know, we know with the first Drake song for Push Ups that was leaked, and there was a few other songs prior to that were like AI versions. But I feel as though outside of this last one, no one ever really hit Kendrick with that. Oh, that might be AI. That's AI, and he's had a few that have been out there. So I feel like the agenda is being pushed more on Drake's side that and again, this could be contributed to him with the ghostwriting allegations in the past about he might be utilizing AI to help him with his shit, but you know. I'm a fan of both. I'm not bringing a biased opinion into this. I'm gonna critique and give my ratings and rank the songs based on of one what can be proven because in rap beef niggas can just say whatever. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Like I need to fact check, and that was another one of the line that Drake said, "You digging for dirt? I need to see the proof." Like you can say all this shit, but where's your proof behind what you're saying? You know what I mean?
I
But
get that. I
again, that
get
goes
that.
both sides because he said shit that he hasn't provided proof for either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
Mm-hmm.
uh the abuse that's going on. There's no proof of that. At least what I could find.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
get that. I agree with you.
yeah, that's why I'd be with that.
Okay. X. So I know you just got here. I'm not too sure if your mic is
Oh
working.
yeah, Dark Man
Um,
X in the house.
yeah. So just because we were trying to keep things, we've got a lot to go through in this situation. But how do you feel about the fans in the situation regarding this rap beef? Like, what is your opinion on it? Do you think that this is potentially making things more than it needs to be, or you think that they're just absolutely helping and contributing? Niggas sitting there like Kermit
And,
with the hood on. This nigga's
and before you give your opinion, I know you hate Drake more than DMX probably, but can you please give like a musical opinion? Because I know you enjoy music as well, and you take music seriously. So can you give an honest, non-biased
yeah,
answer on this
we trying
whole
to be
situation?
unbiased
We
in this
would we would really
conversation.
appreciate that.
But
All
yeah,
right.
go ahead.
First of all, can y'all hear me? My mic straight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you
your,
gotta
your,
cough a
your
little bit.
throat ain't pause.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yo,
gotta
yeah.
clear
Hey,
your
yo,
throat
yo,
a little
yo,
bit,
yo.
brother.
Hold on,
That
really.
nigga went to Vietnam, man. He ain't come back. He
He
ain't come
went
back
to
right.
All
Thailand,
right,
came back.
y'all can hear me. I'm good. I'm
There you
straight.
go. Whatever you
Good
got in
now,
your
yeah.
throat, you
My
got it out
mic,
now.
my
We
mic
good.
sound good, B, because I know usually
Like sound good.
my mic don't sound good. All right.
We good.
I had to go ahead and plug in for this one. I was like, shit, let me go ahead and take this shit serious. But What my nigga Kendrick say? I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he be acting tough, boy. Like I think that's what the whole point is, that people don't recognize Drake in hip hop because they feel like he's a colonizer, and they always felt like he was a colonizer. And the thing about rap beef, it's like rap beef is subjective. You should be able to say a bar with a triple entendre, and the fans, that's the most exciting thing. The fans should be able to interpret it however they want to interpret it because it's art. The reason why I like Kendrick's stuff is because you can go on and you could be like, damn, maybe this bar means this, maybe this bar means this. Maybe like Drake shit is so surface level. It's like, would you understand everything he's saying after the first listen to? Like
But
before.
Hold up, let me finish.
yeah, my fault.
Yeah,
I'm
write down your note, and then we're gonna go back to because I got some things I was gonna ask too. But go ahead, my fault.
With,
Continue asking.
with Euphoria, you probably had to go listen to that a couple of times. With 616 in LA, you had to go listen to that a couple of times. And then it's like there's way with the 616, it's 616 Corinthians that people have been bringing up. They saying like that's the birth date of Hitler. Like they saying it's like a whole bunch of different stuff, but it's like you can interpret it however you want to interpret it because it's art. And then same thing. I mean, the "Not Like Us" I feel like is like his most surface level song. I just feel like it's really like a club banger. Like Eric, like you see people going crazy to the clubs in that song, and it's just like I think he put it out to show his versatility and that he's not just making the conscious music, that he can also put some hot shit out too as well. But like
Okay.
it's a beef, so it's about the art at the end of the day.
All right. So you about to say something, Dave? Before I go say mine, just go ahead and say what you about to say.
Yeah, it was regards to the triple entendre joint, right? So I want to bring up previous beefs, right? Where Nas and Jay-Z, there was none of that shit in that. Like, I think this might be like the first beef where we have to like take another look at the lyrics, especially on Kendrick's side, right? Because of that's the type of rapper he is. Like, I think Cam and May said it best on their podcast, like, or not them. Someone said they don't want to have to go to a dictionary to understand what a nigga's trying to say.
It's because these niggas want
So
to
hold on,
listen
guys.
to
My
diss
fault, guys.
tracks and pop pussy to diss tracks.
One moment, X. One moment. So this is actually one of the subsections we're going to talk about a little later about that portion that you just mentioned. So I don't want to go ahead and get into that part real quick. But let's stick with the fan interpretations and fans and how they impact the music. So you mentioned, X. You mentioned that it's art and should be interpreted as such. So my only counter to that is that, like Dave mentioned, in rap beef, that's different than rap albums. What I mean by that is that rap beef is direct competition with an individual. It is not meant to be, as far as I would look at it. And
Beef can be between whoever though. It can't. You can't sit
time
here
out.
and
Hold
say
on.
limited beef
So,
between one.
no. When you're having beef with somebody, you're having beef with them. You're not having beef with them and a ghost behind them. You're talking about them. So I think he mentioned exactly what I was going to say was when you look at the best rap beefs or the rest rap diss songs, they are direct contact to that person. So if you look at the ethers, the no vaselines, it isn't meant to be layered because the fact is it is meant to be consumed and directed at that individual. So I get what you mean as far as when we're talking about rap as a genre. Yes, it is open for interpretation, but when you're talking about somebody and they're talking about, like, say for example, their kids, you're not looking to go ahead and like, oh, what do he mean by that? If I said fucking kids, it's straightforward. I'm talking about fucking kids or fucking baby mother. So I get what you're saying, but I definitely do agree more with Day in that realm that rap beef is different than traditional just rap music. But go ahead, Day. I'm sorry.
And I'll just piggyback on, like, I'm not mad at the double entendre, but you can't knock Drake for getting straight to the point of what he's trying to get at, because that's what's been done in probably all of the historical rap beefs. You bring up Biggie and Pac, Nas and Jay-Z, Ice Cube and NWA. They not going to that level because I'm not gonna say it's not necessarily needed, but
Bro,
you want to get
that's the greatest thing about Kendrick though. That I like.
but you took a knock at Drake saying all his shit surface level.
I'm not
It
saying
should
it.
be. You think you said it was surface level?
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's a shot. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it.
Okay.
I'm taking a
Okay.
shot at him. I'm just saying like that's what it is. It's like when you listen to Drake shit, you understand what he's saying the very first time. I think
Okay.
the reason why people like Kendrick is because you have to go back and listen to it. It's like watching. It's like watching a good movie. It's like sometimes when you watch a real good movie, and you know this for sure because you're a movie critic. You gotta go. You'd be like, damn, I need to go back and rewatch that. The movies that you watched the first time, it'd be like, I understood everything that movie had to offer, and I really don't need to see it again. That's not a good movie.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
It can be split.
It can be
That's
split.
not true.
It can listen. I'm not saying it's not a good movie. All right, well, that's a bad way of saying it. But you're just like, listen, I got the movie. It was cool, whatever. But you usually are going to want to go watch the movie that you need to watch it multiple times. You really going to fuck with that movie that you need to go back and listen to it or watch it multiple times. And that's just how people like. That's just a comparison between Kendrick's songs and Drake's songs as a whole.
Okay. So so jumping into the next point because we're already pretty much on that line right now. So I guess we're kind of split on this, but do you guys think that for the masses, when I mean by the masses, not just us, but we're talking about the masses of people that are listening to it, do you feel that, and unfortunately this is going to be directed at Kendrick, do you feel like Kendrick's style could be considered non-conducive to beef rap due to it being, too layered? Like, do you think that could potentially turn people's ears away from it because the fact is that it's multi-layered and multifaceted?
No, because I think real. You want to go? I'll go first. I think real rap stems from lyrics and being lyrical. Like hip hop is, I guess y'all are calling this a hip hop beef, or then a rap beef is different. If this is a rap beef, then I'm like, yeah, like this is something that is normal in terms of being lyrical, in terms of your lyrics being the most possessive thing that you have. Now, if you're talking about a hip hop beef where you're making a song in totality that's a diss that could be a banker, all right, cool. Like I ain't gonna lie, I had liked push ups, but if you're racking up push ups against Euphoria, I think Euphoria is a better song.
We actually talked about that a little earlier. That's funny. That's funny.
Said that.
This is why you gotta be on time because we definitely talked about that. And we actually ranked them, and we did put Euphoria over Push Up. So
okay,
we're on the same. We're on the same vein.
As long as we say on the same chord as that. But that's why I'm like, what kind of beef are we talking about? Are we talking about rap beef, where it's lyrics, where it's rhythm and poetry? Like people forget that poetry side.
I'll put it to you in this point. Let's say this wasn't a digital age, right? And niggas don't have the resources to be able to interpret Kendrick's lines, right? Then it would just be a bunch of words him putting together to try to break down Drake. You know what I mean? But because now we have all these resources to do that, we can look up, oh, this is what he meant by so and so. That this wasn't always available back in the day. And I think I'm not saying it's a knock to him because I love looking at lyrics and understanding what niggas are meaning by what some of the things they say because I don't know everything. Like I need to understand like what's being thought because I like clever shit. So I think for like Gen Z or whatever this new population is, they may not like that style of rap beef or just rapping because they want shit to get straight to the point and be fed that straightforward. This like, oh damn, Drake got a new kid. That's it. Like shit straight to the point like that. Not all these fucking analogies and double on, triple on, quadruple entendres and shit. But again, when you I mean, it's kind of hard to understand because like old heads don't going to have to go through that shit unless like it's Nas because that's the type of style the way Nas used to rap. That's the type of way Joe Budden would rap. But not all rappers rap like that. You know what I mean? And it really just takes on who you kind of adapt your music basis of or who you base your style of rapping behind. You know what I mean? I like if I were to have had a conversation with Kendrick, ask him who he modeled his rap for behind. Of course, it'd be Tupac, but I would also think Nas, Common, those type of thinker rappers. You know what I mean? Lupe, that's one of my favorite. He does that, but then you gotta think there's multiple different type of rapping styles you can do. You got Kanye who don't go as layered as that. You got Jay-Z who does it sometimes. You got Fabulous who's going to give you the best punchlines, but it may not actually have like that layered meaning behind, but it's a fire punchline. You know what I mean? There's multiple different ways you can rhyme and rap in a song in its totality or in a rap battle. And it's some people just might not be aware of this style of rap, or this might just be something that's new because again, this could be drawing a new audience for Kendrick. You know what I mean?
Now, when you say some people, like I guess who are you referring to?
I'm really saying like the younger generation or the younger population.
You feel like the younger generation isn't fucking with Kendrick right now.
No, I feel like they fuck with hot songs that are like in the moment. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
for sure.
Like Migos don't really have a lot of layered shit, or Lil Baby. I don't know about Lil Baby. The Baby.
But it's different though. That's what I'm saying. Like when you're making a hot song, it's different than when you're making a beat, a diss.
Right.
So
like the same niggas that would say J. Cole's a snooze fest, they would probably say the same thing about Kendrick. And the only reason I think Kendrick gets more of a benefit behind his shit is because he's representing the West Coast, and Kendrick and J. Cole is just a nigga from the South.
But niggas know that this is a diss. So when they go on, they're automatically like going on, not to just be bumping it, to actually be listening to what's going on. So that's why I'm like.
But actually, you also got to think, niggas have to dedicate the time to like listen to the song and understand the song. Like me, like I've been in the gym. I've fucking not worked out while I'm in the gym because I'm listening to Euphoria and then trying to like break the song down. Because that's how much I like to listen to music and understand music.
Yeah, but it's like, why you listen to Euphoria in the gym, bro? You should be listening to anything else but Euphoria in the gym.
Nah, nigga, because listen, these songs have been dropping while I've been asleep, so that's the first thing I'm seeing in the group chat. So I have to listen to it. I have to listen to it.
Listen, you
gotta, what do you want me to do? These shit just dropping when I'm asleep.
Nigga. You gotta listen to these songs when it is prevalent for you. Dog.
This is why I be in the chat at 5:30 with text messages. Niggas like, why are you texting this early? Because this is my first time seeing these messages and listening to shit.
Point, I usually stay up late, so I'm able to catch the songs when they drop. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into that as well.
Yeah.
I think that there's arguments to be made for both sides. I'm still of the ilk that it should be as simple as possible, because the fact is that yes, it's cool and good to have a double entendre, a double meaning, and to go ahead and have flipping and make your words play for you essentially. But I also think that when you do that, especially in rap or in rap beef, that could lead to things being misconstrued and misunderstood. Once again, I understand when it's rap beef, you want to say what you want to say, and pretty much once the other person introduces a topic, it's free game at that point. So the moment you talk about somebody's wife, it's free game on your wife in that situation. So I get that, but once again, I think that it gets combined when we're talking about it getting layered. We then go ahead and have fans go ahead and saying things that weren't necessarily attributed to what the artist intended. Once again, at the end of the day, even if these guys do have beef with one another and they may not like each other, there is still a human factor in this, where I know that Kendrick went as far to say the nigga should die, but I'm pretty sure there's certain things that Kendrick probably wouldn't say about Drake, because the fact is that, he may not necessarily believe that might be true. So I think that once again, with the fact that, people are interpreting these things, and like you said, people can annotate what they can on Rap Genius, for example, because that's one of the biggest proponents of, music and rap being dissected. That could be quite dangerous. That's just my opinion in that realm. But moving away from that a little bit. So we're going to take a step back from that a little bit further, and then we're going to get right back into this a little bit. We have now gone over this past week of these rap artists going over music. I got a question for y'all. What does J. Cole write for stepping back, and why do you think it happened? So let's dive right into it. Let's start with you, Dave. What's your opinion on that?
I think he was right to step back. Clearly, if these allegations that said on both sides are true, we got one that's a pedophile, and we got one that is a domestic abuser. And I think Cole has a clean slate, and I don't think allegedly, right?
so far.
Allegedly,
But my man's, but I'll say that
I feel like
allegedly.
I've never heard anything bad. All good vibes from Cole, right? Never being in any type of like bad news outside of the whole shit where that one girl dissed him regarding
Oh,
some
no
shit.
name. Okay, yeah,
No name,
yeah,
yeah.
I got you. Remember that?
Yeah, I don't, because I think he really just wanted to be like something just like the spark hip hop, and these niggas, we thought fucking Quavo and Chris Brown had real beef. These niggas really have real beef now that we heard these additional songs. Like, it's, you can't come back from calling a nigga a pedophile. Y'all can't be friends no more. Like, it's,
Yeah, very
there
valid
can
point. I
never
didn't
be
think about that.
a reconciliation from this whole shebanga between Kendrick and Drake. And if I'm Kendrick and you saying I'm beating my woman and I'm not, like, come on, those are serious allegations. Like,
Yes.
I think he made the right play. You know, we as individuals, you know, we took shots at Cole for doing that, saying he solved this is blase, but this shit is turning out to be more than what we all anticipated this beef to become. Pause.
Okay. Actually, got any comments about Cole backing out of this fight now?
Yeah, can y'all still hear me? I'm good,
Yeah, you
Yes.
good.
bro. I think Cole, it take a lot of effort to go through a rap beef, honestly. And I think Cole just did not have the energy to sit down and do all this. I honestly think Kendrick been planning this rap
For
diss
years.
for years, and I think Kendrick got albums of disses towards Drake. So I think
Yo, that's
I think it's
nuts.
anytime Drake want to throw something out, I automatically think Kendrick. Like, y'all seen that Mark Phillips one where Kendrick was like,
Yeah. I put in the chat. Yeah. Definitely.
I already got it ready.
bro,
Nigga walked out the door. Nigga said, "What happened?"
I think
He said, "Just drop it."
he was waiting for Drake to blow his load. I think he was like, all right, I'm gonna wait for these disses to come out, and then boom.
I do want to talk something about that, but I want Kip to go regarding if he think J. Cole is that, because I have something I want to talk about on both sides regarding these diss tracks. But go ahead, Kip.
Okay. Oh, but yeah, nah. Well, personally, I want to make sure I say this. I was always of the kind to say that Cole was right for not persisting in this rap beef, because even when he dropped the song, I felt that it wasn't a good idea. Not for the sake of, oh, I was scared that he's gonna get demolished in the beef. Not at all. I think that he definitely has the ability to go ahead and rap with them without a doubt. But I think that once again in that moment, I really reflected on what Kendrick said on the song, and I didn't take it at anything that was a real shot at Cole.
At him, it was all towards Drake.
It was really towards Drake. Like, of course, you felt the big three is only big me. That's just simple rap banter. And I think that once again, when Cole dropped 7 Minute Drill, he was literally he straddled the line between humble rap beef and kind of a bit of a personal attack, but it was still within the rap beef realm where he was just like, whatever, saying what he was saying. So I think that definitely him and Kendrick probably had a conversation, and Kendrick probably like, yo, bro, I heard what you said, like, what it is, whatever. I don't like, once again, I don't fuck with this nigga, and it's about to get real bad. Like, that's what's gonna happen right now. And Cole was like, all right, this is not like competitive rap beef. This is personal rap beef type shit. So at that point, I think that Cole was like, all right, man, let me go ahead and withdraw my hat from the ring. And he backed up and he's like, hey, he know what he did? I'm actually right now. I got the perfect example of what he did. He pulled a Wong from Infinity Game. Pulled it, opened the portal and backed
and
up. And said,
jump through.
I see y'all in Endgame. He pulled a Wong from Infinity War. That's exactly what he did. But I see you about to say something, X. Go ahead. You about to say something.
No, I was just about to say, this nigga Kendrick did say, he said this beef is about love and hate, and I'm the biggest hater, bro. This nigga hate Drake, bro. The nigga big Drake. And so that's why, yeah, you're right. I think when J. Cole realized, like, oh, this is not about to be no friendly shit. This is about to be war. Yeah, J. Cole is like, Yeah, I don't even hate neither of them this much for me to be put my energy to like.
Yeah. With you there. I'm definitely with you there. But yeah. So let's go ahead and get right back into this because we got a little bit more to get into. So as far as this rap beef's concerned, once again, we're trying to be as practical and unbiased. I mean, practical and unbiased as possible in the situation here. Um, so we didn't get X's response in regards to this. So I do want to go ahead and touch back on basically where X stands on some of these tracks. So we don't have to stick with our top three. So we came up with the top three for Kendrick out of the 5 songs he dropped. We took it as Euphoria, 616 in LA, and Not Like Us. We put those as the top three that were going there because Drake has 3 songs. So we got Euphoria versus Push Ups. We got 616 in LA versus Tailor Made Freestyle, and Not Like Us versus Family Matters. Already we know Euphoria is winning your first round for you, so we know that already. What do you feel about 616 in LA versus Tailor Made Freestyle? Which one do you think is the better of the two?
Well, honestly, I would have put Not Like Us like above 616. Honestly,
Okay, so let's all right. So I'll allow you to go ahead and back up. I'll allow you back up.
I'd have done Euphoria versus Push Ups. I'd have done Meet the Gram versus Family Matters, and I'd done Not Like Us versus Tailor Made.
I don't think we can put Meet the Grams to Family Matters because Family Matters was in retaliation to 16
Yeah,
in
that's the
LA.
reason why. Yeah, that's why we kind of
And if what we're hearing is correct, that for most of that is like fed bad information. Again, we don't know who to trust these days, right? Because we don't know who to trust. But all I'm gonna say is that's a bunch of randomest shit to be in someone's suitcase that ain't his. You know what I mean? Whole bunch of random shit.
It's also random that a whole bunch of pedophiles is living in the same house.
Allegedly, we don't know that.
Allegedly,
we even know people living in Drake crib with them.
We seen the videos of Drake grooming women on stage, 17, bro. We seen
the same thing with Jay-Z and Beyonce. What are we really getting at right now?
Oh, I could get into Jay-Z, Beyonce, but that's a different topic for a different time.
we seen Dame and Aaliyah. Come on now.
Yeah. Listen, listen.
It's different.
It's a nasty list of people.
What'd you say, Ax?
My favorite artist of all time, R. Kelly.
Oh, my word.
About the kid on the stage, or the chick that I know you're referring to. It's one thing to take a picture with one like at a show. It's different to at a later time
meet up with them and
back up with that person.
Potentially do something with them.
It's not like if it's only like this again. That picture was in 2016. It'll been a real thing if we've seen multiple times them two together between that time where she was 16 or 15, however old she was, until when they finally like you start hearing shit about them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If we only heard about that one picture, which I'm assuming is after a show, I mean that's one thing. Again, I'm not saying he ain't do nothing with the girl or did. You know, I don't know nothing. I wasn't there. Again, these allegations.
Yeah,
I don't know. You know what I mean?
Hey, these serious allegations, though. These are serious.
You're right,
but they allegations nonetheless.
Allegations nonetheless. You know, a lot of allegations that fucked up a lot of people's lives that weren't true. Come on, you know that.
That's the reason why we're going. That's why we're going to go ahead and straddle the line and say that it's allegations. And we're going to stick with
allegedly.
That's what we're going to stick with. So we ain't going to get into that comparison of what evil was worse. Yeah. So, Day, I know you mentioned you said you had something you want to get into. You go ahead and take over from right there.
Shit, what was we talking about before?
Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and shift.
No. Y'all was asking me for my top 3 from Kendrick.
Oh yes, that is correct. Well, yes, So you said that you're going to put what song?
I said I would have matched up Family Matters with Meet the Gram, and y'all was like, you wouldn't do that because Family Matters was in retaliation to 616 in LA.
Yeah, so I'll say this: you can do that. You have to leave Not Like Us out because the fact is there hasn't been a response to that. I kind of try to put them as close to responsive to another song as possible. So if you're going to use Meet the Grams, you can't use Not Like Us because there's nothing that has been released since then. There's literally been 2 songs after Family Matters that have been released. So pick your choice of which one you want to take.
I just thought y'all was doing the top 3 from both sides. I didn't know y'all was matching it up to be like this isn't.
Well,
Yeah, Drake only got
released 3 songs. That's the reason why we did that.
Yeah, so if it's top 3, why can't I pick Kendrick's top 3 even though he got
Because
5?
you're choosing 2 songs that are in response to 1 song. See what I'm trying to say? Because remember, Family Matters dropped, then Meet the Grams, then Not Like Us. So you would be potentially using 2 responses to 1 song.
I guess.
That's the only reason why I'm saying that, because that would be unfair in that route. Because then
I'm sticking to my guns, B. I'm just like Kendrick. I'm sticking to my guns. My 3 tracks.
Okay, so are you going? So it sounds like you're going with a clean sweep of Kendrick. So we'll go ahead and leave that such. Yeah. Okay. So shifting back to what we were talking about. So,
well, who did y'all just real quick, Cap? Who did y'all give? Which songs did y'all give Drake to?
we gave a score of 2-1. We gave Euphoria, 616 LA to Kendrick, and then we gave Family Matters to Drake. So that's the score we have is 2-1 on our end.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. But let's go ahead and I guess get back into the entirety of the situation. So right now, once again, like we talked about just a few moments ago, Kendrick has dropped 2 songs, and I would say the last 48 hours, give or take. I don't know. I'm not too sure the time frame. Either way, he's dropped 2 songs since Family Matters has released. So now, as we put the pressure on Kendrick earlier in this beef situation, the clock is on Drake to go ahead and respond. What do you think Drake can do or put together if you have an answer for it, that would be hard hitting in the situation?
His album cover gotta be and I hate to say this, his album cover gotta be of Kendrick's fiance after Kendrick put hands on her. I hate to say that, but I think that's just where you have to go. If you putting an image out on my crib with niggas as if we got sex offenders in the crib, not saying it's true or false, that's the next step, in my opinion. Or
okay.
you got blood work that the nigga Dave Free is actually and I want to get into a theory about that at some point in this conversation. That Dave Free is actually is the father of one of those kids.
He that baby pie. That's what you're trying to say.
I'm saying he's the daughter's dad. And I'm gonna get into that soon.
Okay. All right. That's okay. We got some hard hitting.
I'm on my ex conspiracy theory shit soon.
Okay, 10 Hats is coming on. But
10 Hat.
10 Hat is coming on.
You know what I think Drake need to do next?
Yeah, go ahead. I was about to say, what do you think?
Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right, here we go. I may about to pull out a prop or something. Something's gonna happen. But while X is going ahead and getting his prop for this gag that he has, like you said, I think that Drake has to go ahead and get something. He gotta get the strap. He gotta get the strap.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's
what Drake need to do.
For those who are listening, X got the strap. That's what Drake has to do. He's saying, and we ain't talking about that thing that
young my guy. Oh
yeah, we ain't talking about that thing that too dicey. But either way, sticking with that, I think that there has been some real bars been said between both parties, and like you said, there's been some real allegations and real mud thrown so far. So I don't know what's gonna go ahead and kind of cause a ceasefire in the situation, but I think that Drake still has some stuff in the clip. I think that definitely he has some things in the clip that he's gonna go ahead and do, because Drake is and as Kendrick put, he's a master manipulator. He knows how to go ahead and make some shit shake. So I think that Drake definitely is coming into this with shit that's still in the tuck. Like you said, you can't have beef with a person for 13 years and not have some shit that's locked and loaded and ready to go. Like on both ends, you can't. I don't fathom a way that you put one song out and that's all you got. So I think that there's definitely going to be some stuff coming through the pipeline. I will say this: I'll give Drake some real good bonus points by putting out a complimenting, I guess, music video with Family Matters. I think that definitely That definitely is a big component of it. Because Kendrick put the sex offender thing over the nigga mansion, but the video with the fact, and once again, I'm gonna go and get the speculative territory, but the video showing the Good Kid, Mad City van, no, good little nod to that. But also, if it's true that the alleged daughter, this 11-year-old girl, it was bad information, and people have said that in the background of that video, the girl that people are saying that is his alleged daughter, if that's her in that, that's a that's a master move right there. I ain't gonna lie, that's a master move right there. So once
Like
again,
if that's his real daughter, like in real life.
no, if it's not his daughter, no,
Oh
if it
yeah,
was bad
that's the person that the girl that they saying is Drake's kid is the one that's in that video.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
So if that's
and
the
if I'm
case,
Drake, like why, like if I'm hiding if I'm hiding
yeah,
my
you're
daughter,
not doing
why
that.
would I put her in the video for you to uh since we talking about the door, I want to go into my theory, right? Let me go into my
Yeah,
conspiracy.
go ahead, go to your theory.
So my conspiracy is I think Kendrick know his daughter is not his daughter. And here's why, right?
Okay.
We all know Kendrick is a very intentional artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has shit planned out, dotted with his I's, T's, right? There's a particular part in Euphoria where he's directing to Drake that he's a bad parent in regards to I got a son to raise. Why not say I got children to raise, right? Why not say children to raise if you know Drake has this daughter, right? Because that would make Drake also has two children. So it makes sense to use children.
Okay. Okay. I was
Also,
okay. Gotcha.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Because
and
mm-hmm.
and this also helps me kind of identify that Kendrick didn't know about the daughter until after what Fed information was put out there, right? Because he would have again addressed him at this point being a bad parent versus a bad father to his son. It would be a parent of his children, and then that would have made more
Mm-hmm.
sense for him to imply, I take care of both of my kids, not just my son. I have a daughter too. Why? Why is there no mention of his daughter in anything? He's saying Drake's a pedophile. I got to keep my daughter away from him. He never says anything like that. That's just my thoughts. You know what I mean? His wife
Okay.
or his fiance follows Dave Free. Don't follow Kendrick. Don't follow any other of his friends. Kind of odd to me. I know they went to high school together, but still some strange shit there.
Okay. I get where you're getting at as far as the I won't worry about the Instagram following thing because people did point that out, but people have said that she's never followed him. And, that may be the relationship that they have is let's not do the following thing on social media because once again, from what I understood, she was very private with her life prior to them having kids together. So if I'm dating you
Why
and
you follow my mans then, though? What the fuck? That don't make
once
sense.
again, I get that. Once again, I
You
get
follow
that,
your
but
own friends.
I get that. But I'm just saying that could be the explanation of why they never followed each other
Yeah.
on in social media. But I definitely do agree. I definitely can agree with you a bit about the choice of words because like you said if we are going to give him credit for being this 3D chess player where he's planning out several steps ahead, you don't make that type of mistake if that's not intentionally done.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to be like because if you're like you said if you heard from before that Drake is hiding a kid, you would have said be a good parent to both your children, not just one of
Mm-hmm.
your children. Could just like Pusha T said, be a father to your son type situation. And, and I'm gonna talk about Pusha T a little bit. I don't see how Drake has an 11-year-old child who's older than his son, and Pusha T
That
don't know
Terrence
about
did
it.
not know about.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
but and
So you
Pusha T
telling me
don't think
40,
about it.
his best friend is talking about this new child that this nigga just had, but never mentions anything about the oldest child that's been
Yeah,
around for would have been 5 years at that point?
yeah, that wouldn't make no
Also,
sense.
another thing I think plays another part in was it Meet the Grams. He ain't put a name to the daughter, right? When Push came with a name, he put a
Yeah.
name to the kid. You know what I mean? That's why I think this was fed in like Drake perfectly fed him false or had someone feed him false information, right? Because in that song Euphoria, he mentioned back to back. I'll get right back to that, right? Like he already knew he already had that song lined up to drop right afterwards, right? That was part of the plan. That's why he made that reference. If he had the name of the kid, he might have. I think he would have made some sort of reference to that in that song. He would have made some sort of reference to that. Like I think somewhere in Euphoria, he may mention about like the age of the women that Drake dates. That'd been perfect time to at least again if the daughter is his. I'm gonna say the daughter is his. I don't know their situation. I'm not gonna say that that's not his kid, but that'd be a perfect place to I don't want my daughter around because he's doing so and so with these underage women. Am I? You know what I mean? I'm raising a black queen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's another thing. He's a black man, pro black everything. Why are you not? Especially with Drake having these allegations of being
Pedophilic
around
behavior.
pedophilia.
Yeah.
Why are you not like embracing your black queen of a daughter? You know what I mean? So it's things like that I'm been paying attention to throughout the song. It's always been about like his son that he's been mentioning, and nothing about the daughter. That's just my 10.
And before you go ahead, X, and I think that date is very valid in the situation that we can't have it both ways. We can't have it that he's a 3D chess player and he's so absent-minded to not have that mentioned in the track because, like you said, if you're going to go ahead and make the allegation that he has a child on the side, and that's good information, like you have it good and known that that's true that he has a child on the side, you would make mention of, oh, you a pedophile or you have pedophiles around, but why would you want to go ahead and have your child or your daughter around these pedophiles, and why are you doing this behavior but you have a daughter on the side type shit. So I think that also is something that I'm thinking about as well. So that's actually a very valid point, and that's something that we really got to go ahead and pay attention to throughout the rest of this rap beef. Because I don't think this is going to end anytime soon, honestly speaking. But X, you have any closing thoughts on that before we go ahead and shift gears a little bit?
Yeah, I just don't understand why everybody's so caught up on whether Drake has a daughter or not when the biggest allegation is him being a pedophile.
Pedophile, yeah.
Like Drake defended himself against all these allegations except him being a pedophile and except his what is he, either 40-year Chubbs or somebody in his camp having an open case, open pedophile case.
So I'll say this: the reason why I think that. All right, so this is my thought process. One of those things is something that is very tangible and you could easily prove. You can't necessarily. So what I mean by that is that, unfortunately, unless you unalive a child, there's no way to hide a child. If you get a test on that child, that test shows that you're a child, that child is yours. Like, you feel me? At the end of the day, when we're talking about this allegation of pedophilia, where you have somebody that had some type of interaction with an underage child, and once again, pedophilia is a blanket term. It could be somebody that's 17, it could be somebody that's just below the age. I don't know. Either way, you don't want to be on that side of it. But that is, unfortunately, that is a lot of, I guess, hearsay, because the fact is that we have to go ahead and prove that he had that interaction with them. We also have to go ahead and know whether or not that person was underage at the time that they had that contact. There's so many different steps that come along with it. So I don't think that we can necessarily grab onto that when.
But you seen that video? But y'all seen that video of Drake at his own concert, like with the shorty on stage who was 17?
Well, so I'll say this, and once again, this is not.
Oh, you answered it. You answered the question. Did you see that video?
No, I got. Of course, I've seen the video of what you're talking about,
Okay.
but I'm going to get into that.
Right.
So the reason why I'm not absolving the behavior, but the difficult thing about that is this. And once again, and this is, I think that all artists across the board need to be aware and cognizant of this. Could be you in the situation. When somebody calls somebody on stage, 99.9% of the time, they're not asking you for your ID. Unless you look like a child, they're not going to think that you're a child. I'm not excusing the behavior, but in that situation is a lot different than you interact with somebody on the street, you then meet them for lunch, you then meet them for dinner another time, and then you still continue to have a conversation with this person and you never ask them their age. If I'm an artist, I'm performing, I call somebody on stage at my show, I'm trying to go ahead and put a performance on. You know, at that point, Drake was known as the lover boy type of shit. Like his music was melodic and lover boy situation. I would expect that would be something that would happen at the show with, hopefully, of course, a person that's of age. So I could see where that could happen based on the situation and circumstance. Once again, I don't know his mind or his heart, but I'm confident that he's not going to put himself in a position that, oh, I'm going to call an underage person on stage to kiss on them because the fact is that's my thing type of shit. You see what I'm trying to say? I'm not. Once again, this is not excusing the behavior. It's the fact is that that's a different than somebody who's literally seeking out people to go ahead and have interactions with them because they fit their profile of an underage child or underage individual. That's just my idea and thought about it.
I'm just saying, if it's too many underage women in your circle or in your situation where it's like there's multiple times people like, yeah, this nigga in his lyrics said Sierra Canyon parking lot looking like Magic City's parking lot. The nigga compared a high school's parking lot to a strip club's parking lot in one of his previous songs, dog. And niggas let that shit slide right past everybody, bro.
What song was it on?
It was off the album Certified Lover Boy. I could try to pull up the lyric, but
so before you go into that, I think that it could be that's also something that could be inflated that is different than what it is. What I mean by that is that at that time that he's probably talking about was when Sierra Canyon was on the map because Bronny James was there, and that's when he was fucking with Amari Bailey's mom. So once again, it don't seem like it's the smartest thing to say, but if you think about it in the context of what was actually happening at that time,
it was hold on, let me let you know it was Poppy's Home song.
okay, the first song on the album. But yeah, that's just my thought process in that realm as well. It's just like you're talking about the situation at that time because there was a shit ton of celebrities at those games.
Yeah.
There was a shit ton of celebrities at that game. Mello was there. Everybody was there. I'm talking about, of course, I'm talking about the men, but there was also females that were there because the fact that these celebrities were there as well. You know,
I'm just listening. I get what you're saying, bro. You hear what I'm saying though. You hear what I'm saying.
Once again, it's bad. It's bad choice of shit. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's based. It's not up there with what Rick Ross said, but that's basically like what Rick Ross did with put the Molly and champagne shit.
Yeah.
You know, that was terrible as a bar.
Yeah.
I hope he never did that, but that's a terrible bar. It flowed when it first came out, but yeah.
Listen, Kendrick has yet to say his allegations ain't true either. So what we really saying?
No, Kendrick came out and said his allegations talking about him beating his wife.
What, 20 years ago, nigga?
Yeah, he said his
nigga. So you telling me between 10 years ago, the nigga possibly had never put his hands back, and I don't even think that wasn't him putting his hands on Whitney. That was on him putting his hand on another woman.
I mean, what you trying to sit up here and say, niggas is at home beating his wife? That's what you trying to say?
Hey,
at home beating his wife.
Hey, the glove Giants was the punter on the Giants was going home and beating his wife every day.
Nigga, I gave y'all two examples. I gave y'all two different women that Drake like had encounters with that was 17 and under.
And we just gave you.
It was the one shorty that he took out as soon as she turned 18 that he met when she was 16.
Got you.
And then it was a shorty on stage that was 17 where even after he found out she was 17, he still proceeded to like kiss her on the head, thank her for making him feel special and shit. I was like, hey, yo,
I didn't know about that part.
Bro, yeah, what? That's what I'm saying. It's a video of
I saw him on the stage with her, but
yeah. Did you?
When did he find out he was 17?
Bro, she told him. She asked him on stage. She said, "How old are you?" She was like, "I'm 17," and he was like, "Oh." He was like, he was like, I don't know how I feel. That's what I'm saying. You didn't watch the video, nigga. You always
I did watch the video. I didn't. Once again, I did watch the video. I just didn't hear what was said during the video.
You didn't watch it, nigga? That's like saying I watched the movie. Visually watching. That's like saying I watched the movie, but I know what the audio was. I ain't hear none of the actors say they lie.
If you watch the movie, you watch the movie. If you didn't catch it, that's like saying, "Oh, I watched the movie, but I missed a bar and I missed something in the movie." Like I missed that part. I didn't hear I'm sorry.
That was the biggest part. That was the whole part.
I apologize. Recant my statement. Then, if that was literally said in the video,
Yeah,
that's
in the
my fault.
video, she was
Drake
like,
is a piece of shit for that. Then, at that point,
yeah,
I'll say it straight like that.
in the video, she was like, I'm 17. He was like, oh, he was like, well, I appreciate the way that you had made me feel in the moment we shared, and like proceeded to like kiss her hand and shit. I said, come on, if I find out she's 17, get off the stage.
Kiss her hand or kiss her neck? Because when you said kissed her neck before.
No,
Hold
I
on.
ain't say kiss her neck.
You did say that. You did. You
All
definitely
right, if
did.
I said kiss her neck, I ain't mean kiss her neck.
See,
I ain't mean kiss her neck.
That's why.
See how the Kendrick fans like to spin the narrative?
I
See
ain't
it?
say kiss her neck. Bro, I ain't say, if I say kiss her neck, I'm sorry.
Because that's why I was like, kiss the neck a little much. Like,
that's why I said
because you see that from other artists, men and female, when like if there is someone underage, they'll give a little peck on the cheek or some shit, which is harmless unless it's a repeated act and shit escalates from that. Then that's where it becomes questionable. But
and that's what I'm saying.
The words behind it are questionable, though.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
just too many questionable stuff. That's what I'm saying. The bar from the Sierra Cannon parking lot. Like, listen,
I don't see that as anything harmful. I think that he was just really saying that it's as crowded as those basketball games in that parking lot as it is going to Magic City.
Regardless, yeah, could be for sure. Still suspect, a little suspect.
True. Nah, I think it's for fact that's because he was fucking with.
But if Kendrick would have said it, would it be suspect?
Hell
or
yeah!
Is it a double entendre?
Hell yeah! It would have been suspect. Hell yeah!
Right.
Like, what you mean?
Right.
What you mean? So I'm keeping. Listen, it's about the kids at the end of the day, bro.
No, I agree with you there. I'm 100% with you on that.
It's about the kids at the end of the day, and Adonis
let them lead the way.
Adonis need to play that track when he turned 18, boy, because he need to see what his pops was doing.
Excuse me.
Put a protection order against that nigga Kendrick against his son. Stay away from my niggas.
Stay away from my niggas.
Stay away.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and shift gears because we have a little bit more we want to get through before we go ahead and close out. Before we go into that, I'm not sure if we had anything further in this rap beef, but I definitely want to get into the NBA playoffs where we stand right now. I think that we are moving into the second round. We just had the final closeout game was the Cavs versus the Magic, and the Cavs closed that thing out. So definitely excited to see what's going on. We got our first game out of the Western semis. We'll go ahead and touch on that. But first, I want to go over the matchups that are set up for this round of the NBA playoffs.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you have that on screen already, Dave, but do you mind going over the teams that are playing each other?
Sure thing. We got the Pacers playing the Knicks. We got the Thunder playing the Mavs. I think we mentioned Timberwolves and the Nuggets, and Celtics versus the Cavaliers.
Perfect. All right, so we already got like we mentioned a bit earlier. We just had the first game of the Western Conference semis. We had the Timberwolves versus the defending champ Nuggets. And Edwards went off. I think that we definitely are
40,
in
right?
for. I think he had 40. I think he had 42 or 40. I'm not too sure the exact count, but I think we in for a great series. Timberwolves stole the first game on the away court or on Nuggets defending court. So I think we're in for a crazy series. I think the energy that we're going to get out of this series could really shake the fabric of the NBA. And that may be a bit hyperbolic, but I think it could because with the team that they got constructed, I think that we have somebody who's going to come out this West. Who I think whoever wins this game could potentially come out the West. And I think that's pretty much where we are right now at this point. But as far as we're gonna come back to that game because once again we already seen the first game and see how that played out. But outside of that series, we'll come back to we'll touch on that last. The other three series. Which series are you guys most excited to see? If you don't mind me asking.
I'll say the Knicks and the Pacers. I honestly think the Celtics are going to sweep the Cavaliers, and I can see a huge upset on the Mavs beating the Thunders 4-2. But
okay.
I like the Knicks and the Pacers just because the Knicks has made it to this point. You know what I mean? We from New York. Well, me and Kip from New York. Team, he from Chicago. They ain't make it, but I think they'll bounce back once they get a fully healthy team. They've been battling injuries for the last 2-3 years, so that's that. But yeah, I think the Knicks have revitalized their team and that energy. I'm hoping they can push past the Pacers. This is kind of like a matchup from back in the '90s where Knicks and then we'll go against Reggie Miller. So hopefully they can push it past them and face the Celtics. Hopefully the Cavs can pull off an upset and beat the Celtics. I feel more confident about the Knicks beating the Cavaliers than the Celtics, but gotta take one series at a time.
Okay. X, you have a preferable series. Once again, outside of we're going to touch on the Timberwolves series last. But out of the other three series, do you happen to have a series that you're really looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm interested in this Dallas Maverick OKC because I like the Shy versus Kyrie Irving matchup. So that's something I'm
Okay.
gonna be looking forward to because it's two players that can score from multiple levels really well. One being a older veteran, and the one dude being possibly the face of the NBA in the next 2-3 years. So I think it's going to be a nice showdown. So I'm excited to see that.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I definitely, I'm not a Knicks fan by any sort of the imagination, but I definitely am excited to see the Knicks doing what they're doing in basketball. Once again, I think that's going to be a series that I'm going to definitely be checking in periodically on because, once again, defend the city, see if they can get that going. I think that actually also to touch on a good point that Mav Thunder series is going to be a real good one as well. Like you said, you got Luka and Kyrie versus Shea. I guess you would go with Chet. I think Chet is the number two guy on that team. So it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup to see how that plays out. Once again, those three games, the Maverick versus Thunder, the Celtics versus the Cavs, and the Pacers versus Knicks. They haven't played yet. The first game that we're going to see out of that is going to be the Pacers Knicks tomorrow, Monday at 7:30. So we're going to be able to get our first view of what that series could potentially play out as, and I think that's going to be very telling. But going back to that talk about that Nuggets Timberwolves series. Like we said, we got that first game already. So what did you see out of that game that you take away from it? What do you think you to expect? And who do y'all think is going to win that series when it's all said and done? I'll start with you, Alex.
You talking about the Timberwolves series?
Yes.
Man, Anthony Edwards has been balling, bro. And
Okay.
I think they got a real good team with him, Cat, and Rudy Goldberg. So I think they're a well-rounded team. I just think that the Nuggets, since they've been there before, they might have like the experience to be down and come back. So just because they're down one, because you said they're down one game right now, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because they down one game, I don't necessarily would count them out. But I definitely do think that their experience in the playoffs might give them a little bit more of an advantage. But like I said, that the Timberwolves they got a great team right now, a real solid lineup and stuff. So I'm kind of excited to see what they do.
Okay. Dave, same question for you.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game, but I've seen the Timberwolves in other series, and they have a lot of size to them paws, and I think that's what's going to be challenging to the Nuggets. They also have a veteran point guard that could kind of like neutralize Jamal Murray. I think that's
Mhm.
what's been lacking, like in at least in the West Side, the last few years. Like outside of Steph, which when they got past him, they won the chip. There hasn't been really any good point guard play that could like keep them in games against when they're playing against the Nuggets. In this last game, Jokic had to pretty much do everything. I mean, he does it on a normal, but he led the team in shots. He much rather distribute than having to be that primary scorer where he has to put up 30 to even for it to be a close game. He put up 30 and they still lost by I think maybe 8 or 9. So you got Gobert guarding him. You could possibly switch off the Towns, and then you got Reed coming off the bench. There's a lot of size that they rotate in that going to put a lot of challenges on that team. The only way the Denver's going to win is if Murray plays more consistently and can average over 25 a game, and either combine between Porter Jr. and Gordon. They have to combine for at least 30 a game for them to the win, and they didn't do that this last week. This last game, I should say.
Okay. No, I definitely am with y'all on both fronts. Like you said, I think that one of the big components of beating the Nuggets is guard play. And I think that Ant Edwards, like X said, is a
Cooking
fucking
KCP.
dog. He's a fucking dog. And they don't I don't think they have an answer for the size and strength that he has. And I ain't putting a pause on that. The dude, he's a baller. He's a bucket. He put up when I actually checked back on the score, he actually put up 43 of them things on the head.
On
So
58% shooting.
yes. So when once again, I don't know if he's going to go ahead and put up 43 every game, but when you have good guard play, I think the Nuggets are absolutely beatable. When you combine that with the I'm gonna say it like this: the length that the Timberwolves got, I don't see how they don't win this series unless they have a catastrophic meltdown or there is an explosion of scoring by Jamal Murray. I think Jamal Murray is the key to them winning that series, and if he doesn't, I think that one of the tough things is that there's bodies that they could throw at Jamal Murray. You got Conley, you have Ant Edwards himself. So I think that is going to be definitively the factor that actually makes or breaks this series. Jokic is going to get his buckets. Do I think Jokic is going to be able to put up 50 or 40 points a game? I don't see that happening. He scored 32 last time. Once again, in order for them to go ahead and keep in that game, he has to consistently put up 30, which I think he could do 30 for sure. But to eclipse that, I don't know if he can do that. That's a lot to put on one player, no matter what player it is. And then, like you said, historically, when we look at the Nuggets championship run last year, what won them that series, yeah, Jokic was balling. I'm not going to go ahead and act like he wasn't. But it was Jamal Murray's ability to score. What was the Lakers lacking when they played in the Western Conference Final? Guard play. They didn't have a guard that could match up with Murray. They lost that series. Like, that's what it is. And I think that the Timberwolves, being that they have veteran talent and Mike Conley, and we have Ant Edwards at the shooting guard, I don't see how they get past this if Jamal doesn't have a legit good series. He has to be consistent throughout the series. But as far as my series numbers, I'm gonna go ahead and go Timberwolves in 6. I'm not sure if you guys have a number what you guys going with, but I'm on Timberwolves in 6.
4-1 Timberwolves.
Okay, I can see that. This saying this next game, the which quote wins, and then they're gonna sweep them the rest of the way.
Nah, who had home court? Nuggets, right?
Nuggets, yeah.
Yeah, Nuggets they're gonna get one at home, and then they're gonna get ran off.
Gotcha.
You really think so?
It's possible. I definitely think it's possible.
Honestly, I'm gonna say it goes 7 games, and the Nuggets is gonna take it.
Okay, interesting. I will say this: the only caveat I'll put in there is that the Timberwolves won with Cat being in foul trouble early in that game. If he plays a whole clean game, I'm with Day on that. With Timberwolves in 4-1. If he plays clean games,
Who they did beat first round? Who they sweep?
Who, the Timberwolves?
Yes.
The Suns.
Swept the Suns, nigga. You think? Yeah, it's over.
I seen the Suns play live, and I was like, yeah, they keep playing. I seen them play.
That's still KD though, son. 30 a game.
Bro. I seen them play live when KD has passed Shaq on the all times list. I was at that game, bro, and I was watching them, and I was like, yeah, this team is not a team that is going to be well in the playoffs because they don't play together. So the fact that fact alone, I was like, yeah, I didn't even see them honestly beating the Timberwolves after seeing them play in the regular season like that.
You know, the funny thing is, the last game of the season, the Timberwolves actually lost to the Suns. And then they got their ass. So they basically played 5 games against the Timberwolves back to back. Because the fact is, the four game they lost, and that 5th game that they played before the playoffs started. Yeah, they put hands on their ass. Once again, I don't see a way that this goes well. Now, once again, it could happen. Herculean efforts do happen. Jamal Murray might lock in, and he might just be like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and take over. But
Listen,
once again, he has to be that guy.
I'm gonna
He
give you the
has to.
stat line of what they average for that team, and I want you to tell me who on the Nuggets is gonna be able to put up the same point average, right? Because we know, Timberwolves, I think, probably got one of the best defenses in the league. The Suns, this is their averages. Booker averaged 27.5. We can account that for Jokic. Jokic could do that. KD at 26.8. Can Murray do that? He dropped 15 first game. It's possible. The next nigga was 16.5 for Bradley Beal. I would assume Michael Porter could be in that situation. And then you had Eric Gordon averaging 8. That's like around Aaron Gordon's area. So, and they lost, and they got swept with those averages. KCP, is he going to average more than 10? Doubt it. He had 5, I think, in the game.
Hey,
So
hey, I hope so.
yeah.
Yeah, that's very.
Like what's the name is a more balanced team. So Ant averaged 31, Cat averaged 20, Rudy averaged 15, Jaden McDaniels averaged 14, a nigga off the bench averaged 13, Mike Conley averaged 11, and then Nasri averaged 10. Like you're not gonna lose when you got niggas. You got 2 niggas on the bench averaging over 10 points a game. Like that's hard to do. But we'll see.
Yeah. I think that when you put it like that, the math ain't math, and mathematically, it's a tough hill to have to climb for the Nuggets right now. But once again, like X said, veteran presence does play a factor, and if you've been there, you could potentially get back there. But once again, tough sledding. It's tough sledding.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're almost at time. So, do we have any questions of the day before we go ahead and move
I
on?
do.
Do you have any other conversations?
I got a question of the day. So, not sure. I put this in the chat, but I'm not sure if you guys seen this. But they've put all of Fab's soul tape mixtapes on Apple Music. So I have 2 questions of the day. So the first one is going to be, if I can get my damn mouse over here. First one is going to be, what do you think is the best soul tape mixtape by Fab? Anybody there? Niggas got me on mute.
Honestly, I'll have to go back and listen to them. Like, when you had put them in the chat, I didn't even listen to them, honestly. So I had to go back.
You don't remember listening to them at all, like in the past?
Nah, honestly, I would probably remember maybe the second one a little bit, but yeah, I wasn't really like listening to Fab like that.
That's disgusting.
Y'all from New York?
I'm back. I'm sorry.
It's different.
You're right.
Yeah, that's But Fab, man, it's a master of a pen right there. But yeah, let me go ahead and just run through this track list real quick about the soul tapes, because definitely I think that Fab is one of the best mixtape rappers. Ooh. Hold on. All right, that's
for me. I'm gonna go with the original soul tape, followed by 3, then 2. So it was 1, 3, 2. Like one of my favorite songs by him is on or one of my favorite songs from the soul tape mixtape trilogy is on 2, but as a whole, I gotta go with 1. That first one is just like that was a banger to me. Like That's Not Love. Drugs is probably my favorite song on that mixtape. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 1.
So for me, I think I'm gonna go ahead and actually I might go Soul Tape 3. I think Soul Tape 3 might be my favorite Soul Tape actually. I think once again I think that the highs are high, and I think that when I look back, I was gonna say when I look back and think about those tracks and when they came out, Slim Thick, that's still a caption to this point, bro. Situationships, yeah. Those 2 in itself, I think, carry
Cuffing Season. His toes keep calling. I ain't picked. Yeah, it was my second, but that first one.
So I think like just off of that, they got Young OG. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go number 3, especially just because of the fact, like once again, the witty wordplay by Fab and the ability to go ahead. He makes to make captions fucking songs and make them lyrics is crazy. Like people
Yeah.
make songs and then become captions, but to use captions to make them songs is different entirely.
What you mean by that?
But I'm sorry.
What you mean by that? Make captions into songs?
So yeah, so like for example, like Drake makes songs, and those songs then lead to captions being
Yeah.
created.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you make a like to use a caption and that be a basis for a song, I think it takes a bit more creativity in that realm because the fact is, yeah, you got the idea of the inspiration, but you still have to come up with the context of it. Whereas with the reverse, where it's you have a song and that creates a caption, you're just simply, for lack of better words, using quotes at that point. That
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. So, but yeah, I just once again for me, I think it's just that thinking back to those summers with Soul Tape being out, yeah, situationships and Them Slick, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that. I'm gonna have to go with that. Yeah.
Okay. And my next
Player. That's
question
another one too.
is, what is your best song from
Soul
Soul Tape?
Tapes.
Yeah.
Bro, why you put me on the spot with that's tough. Um, I don't know. Let me go. I'm trying to think about. Let me go ahead and do you have while I'm thinking about I'm mulling it over. You go ahead and give yours if you haven't already put down.
Um, it's a tie between We Get High on the second one
Yeah,
and
that's a good one. That's a good one.
um give me a second. I had the other one. It was one on the first one. It might be Drugs. Drugs is my shit. Life ain't change. I ain't done with that. But I'm gonna go with We Get High. That's my shit. Been pimping since been pimping.
I think I'm gonna go with situationships.
Situation shit. I love
Situationships.
that.
I think I'm going with situationships. I think just sonically the shit was just good. Then the bars, it was
Mhm.
yeah. Situationships, I think definitely yeah. I'm gonna give situationships it. That. I think that's my number one answer. Good
Okay,
answer.
that's a fair. That's a really good answer. That is probably my second. I think that surpasses Drugs. It
Okay,
will be We
okay.
Get High, Situationships, and then Drugs.
I,
One from each.
I
One from each. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I fuck with We Get High because I believe that they were sampling the same Almost Fire song, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
was that shit classic. Yeah, but yeah, that definitely that's why I was a little bit trapped between that. But I think that for me the order is 3-1-2. If we're going in order for the mixtapes 3-1-2.
Mm.
But
Okay.
yeah,
I got a question for X before we go.
hmm
What's your favorite song off of Alfredo?
Hey man, I'm gonna have to say Scotty Beams.
Scotty Beams?
Yeah,
For y'all that don't know, Alfredo is that's an album by Freddie Gibbs, right?
yeah, it's an album by Freddie Gibbs. Yeah, come on now.
It's a fire album. I'm not.
I'm
I just wanted to include X because he don't listen to Fab, so I can't. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm from the Midwest, so it's like a lot of artists I listen to are from the Midwest. He from Gary, Indiana. Like that's like 30 minutes outside the crib. You take 9-5 straight out of
Nah,
Chicago.
bro, you need to go ahead and listen to Soul Tape, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's good music. Good
You
music
talk
right
about
there.
lyrics and
you're
you talk
probably right.
about
Like, listen, y'all probably right. I just need to sit down and actually listen to it. I ain't had time to do nothing. Hey, y'all remember I just got back into America.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear speak
They had you.
the
They
la
had Brittany
I
Griner, huh?
they
Yeah,
had my man was Leslie Chow in them in Thailand. Fuck that. But
Mm-hmm.
I
yeah.
ain't hearing that excuse. The last Soul Take came out. Was that Soul Take 4? I don't think it was Soul Take 4.
No, no,
The last
no.
Soul Take came out in 2013. You ain't been in the country for that long, nigga. I ain't hearing
Bro,
that shit.
that's more than
I
10
ain't
years
hearing
ago,
that.
bro. Give me grace.
Exactly.
Give me some grace, man. Dang.
10 years there enough
But
grace.
No. Like,
yeah, I'm about to say
Crazy.
we a decade in. We decade in that right now. All right.
I'll go
Well.
back. I'll go back listen today, and I'll give y'all my answer in the group chat.
All
All
right.
right, bet. All right, well, we appreciate y'all. You know, we definitely gonna probably have a bunch of songs coming back in the next week when we come back in. Hopefully, we get some more fire in that realm. But if not, we still got a shit ton more to talk about. yeah, we hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Cinco de Mayo. Remember, be safe, drink responsibly, and we catch you on the next time. Deuces.
Deuces.
All right. And